Hey guys, what's up? It's Heather Grant, and today I'm going to be talking about essential oils that you can use to help to manage anger. And for those of you who maybe had a misconception about me and thought that I was like this perfect person and had a perfect life and everything's just great, this video is going to totally get rid of that myth or that rumor. And you're going to kind of see the real me because I'm going to get really real with you for a second. So one of the things that I do not like about myself that I am working on constantly, I feel like, is anger. Like I tend to get to be like happy and friendly one minute, and then my kids or my husband do something and then I just snap. I just get really, really angry. Or I deal with my kids all day and I'm like patient and loving and kind, and then by the end of the day when it's bedtime, I'm just this mean, angry mom that they won't go to bed. And it's something that I'm really trying to work on. So I'm a Christian, you guys, and I believe that we should be kind and have love and charity. And I don't believe that the Savior ever got angry at children. Like, I don't believe that that is a Christ-like quality. And so it's something that I am ashamed of. It's something that I am working on, and it's a process for me. I also happen to be married to a redhead, and I don't want to put that on all redheads, but I know mine is a little bit of a spitfire. Both of his grandpas had anger issues. I know my parents had a problem with yelling and anger and did not know how to emotionally handle those types of things. And so it's something that I kind of have made it my life mission to break. It's a habit that I want to break because I don't want to be ever out of control, and I don't ever want to yell at my kids. I certainly don't want my kids to yell at my grandkids, and so it's something that I'm working on and trying to break. So this has kind of been a little bit of a spiritual journey for me. I feel like it's something that I constantly am like prayerful about and am working on and having to ask forgiveness for because I mess up a lot. But there are some essential oils that I have found that have really, really helped. Specifically a diffuser blend that we use in my home that I use to help get rid of anger. I have seen it work on myself, I've seen it work on my husband, and I've seen it work on my kids. And it's one of those things that kind of came to me, this blend came to me after a lot of study and a lot of prayer. And I just feel like this was almost like given to me from God. And I am very grateful for it, and it has helped me. And so I'm hoping that maybe it will help somebody out there who also struggles to control your anger. And so I looked at, when I was really researching and trying to find oils that would help with anger issues, I started to study really the emotional side because anger is an emotional issue. And so I love this book. For those of you who don't have it, I highly recommend it. It's Emotions and Essential Oils. It's a Daniel McDonald book. I think you can get it on Amazon for like 19 bucks, but it talks about the emotion side of all of the oils. So this diffuser blend that I'm going to share with you it's 3 drops of cardamom, 2 drops of bergamot, and 1 drop of clove. And you could also use this in a roller bottle, right? You could use a little 5 milliliter roller bottle, use that. You could put it on the bottoms of your feet or over your heart. But sometimes, at least in my house, someone else maybe has the anger issue, like a child or a spouse that doesn't recognize it. And so I need to be able to just to diffuse that and to kind of like work on them without them knowing. But if this is something like you are the one that's dealing with anger, you could diffuse it, or you could actually make your own personal roller bottle as a mom and have that with you so that you can use that when you start to feel yourself getting angry or ready to lose control. So I wanted to share with you why this blend is so powerful. So first of all, 3 drops of cardamom, right? Cardamom is the oil of objectivity. It's the oil of self-control, which whenever we get angry, it's because we're losing self-control, right? So I wanted to read part of this to you. So it assists individuals who frequently feel frustrated or angry with people. Just gonna raise my hand here. Cardamom is especially helpful for times when anger goes to your head or causes you to become hot-headed, losing control. It helps to bring balance, mental clarity, and objectivity during moments of anger or frustration. So as a mom, like, this is something that I feel like it's going to really, really help with. It also helps individuals who have a long history of anger or aggression, and it becomes directed outward at other people. It helps us to let go of those angry feelings and to not objectify other people and see them as inconveniences, which I know sometimes I do as a mom. If I'm really tired as a mom and I'm sick of my kids, then I kind of take out that frustration on them, which is so not good. Cardamom demands that individuals stop blaming others. It asks them to take personal ownership and responsibility for their feelings. I think this is really the key to anger, because how many times do we say something like, well, my kid made me angry, or my spouse made me angry, or my job makes me angry, or it's these outside circumstances, and we're playing this victim role of, woe is me, I got angry because you spilled the milk or because you forgot to pay the bill or whatever it is, right? We blame other people and it's this victim mode. And cardamom is one of those oils that help us to take ownership and say, you know what? No, I'm not a victim. I chose to get angry or I chose to react badly, but it makes me take ownership of my feelings and my anger, and it makes it be my problem, not anybody else's. And I think that really is the key. One of the keys that I found to overcoming anger is to take responsibility. You getting angry is not anybody else's problem but your own. And that's really hard to admit. Like, we like to think that it's other people or other circumstances that make us get angry, which is a bunch of BS, and I'm just gonna call it for what it is. So it really helps us to take self-control and to take ownership, to quit blaming others, to take responsibility for our outbursts or our bad temper tantrums. So cardamom, 3 drops of cardamom. The second oil that is in it is bergamot. And bergamot, on the opposite side, is kind of the oil of self-acceptance, self-love. It helps us to not judge ourselves. I think this is important because most of the time when I get angry or I lose my temper, or I yell at one of my kids and I know I shouldn't, there is this feeling of like extreme guilt and feelings of, I just have really low self-esteem. Like, I know it's not good. I know it's not Christ-like. It's something that I don't like about myself. And so then I get down on myself, and it's kind of this, I feel hopeless, or like I'm never going to beat it, or I'm really, I tend to self-judge really, really harshly. And so bergamot helps us to just feel that love. It helps us to be confident and optimistic and hopeful. And that's really, really important when we're talking about anger. So it helps those that are feeling down to feel hopeless. It helps us to have that confidence, and helps us to let go of that self-judgment, learn to love ourselves unconditionally, and to work on those things that we suck at, right? So I love that it has bergamot in it. And then last but not least, the other oil that's in this blend is clove. And clove helps us get rid of that victim mentality, right? It helps us to take ownership. So clove is actually the oil of boundaries. Helps us to let go of that victim mentality, which is so key in anger. People get angry and they go into that victim role. And so clove helps us to take ownership of it. It says victims feel overly influenced by other people and outside circumstances. A lot of times we perceive ourselves as powerless to change what's going on around us. And clove helps us to let go of those patterns of self-betrayal and codependency. Helps us to stand in personal integrity. Helps us to say no when we need to say no, to stand up for ourselves. But it helps us to live true to ourselves and the divine by establishing clear boundaries. So basically, it helps us to get rid of our victim mentality, helps us to not feel defeated, dominated, intimidated, rejected, enslaved. I know a lot of people feel enslaved to anger. And on the flip side, clove is one of those oils that can really help us to feel empowered, to have clear boundaries, to be courageous, and to feel very, very capable of overcoming those weaknesses that we have. So once again, the diffuser blend that I love, this is something you can use if you have children that are dealing with anger or a spouse that's dealing with anger. 3 drops of cardamom, 2 drops of bergamot, 1 drop of clove. It's something you can diffuse. It's something you can put in a roller with fractionated coconut oil over your heart or on the bottoms of your feet. But you guys, all of us have weaknesses. Time to fess up. If anger is one that you have that you want to get rid of, I would encourage you to work on it. Use essential oils to assist you. Use prayer. It's really interesting to me that I think when we humble ourselves and come to God and actually admit that we have a problem and that we want to change it, and we're in that very, very humble, teachable state, that's when those miracles happen, that's when we are able to bite our tongue or count to 10 or walk in the other room or write about it and rip the paper up so that we're, getting those emotions out in a healthy way instead of, vomiting negative things on our family, those people that we love and care about the most. So you guys, if you have an anger issue, I feel for you. Hang in there. Work on it. It doesn't bring happiness. Anger does not bring happiness. And when we get angry, then it leads to feelings of depressed and discouragement because we know we're doing something that we shouldn't do. So you guys, work on that. Use prayer. Use these essential oils to be able to help you to overcome that anger addiction. Everybody, I love you all. Thanks for listening to me spill my guts about something that I'm working on and that's tough for me. And if you guys have things that you've done that's helped over the years as you were raising kids, if you have some wisdom to impart to those of us who have anger issues and are trying to work on that and become better at that, please share those below. I would love, love, love to hear from them. Everybody, thanks so much. Have an awesome day. Bye, guys.